Spotlight some stock picks. Joining us now for Insight, Melissa Armo, founder and owner of the stock Swoosh. Melissa, thank you so much for joining us. Let's start out with your bullish picks. We'll start out with the key one that I think it'd be hard pressed to find a bear in. NVIDIA shares gaining once again today, up 5%. Tell us why you're so bullish on this one.
Well, remember, NVIDIA had earnings that were good earnings more than a month ago, but the stock fell after that, which was a shame. So it made new highs and then it immediately fell. So I've been watching this for quite some time to see if it was actually going to follow through on the move that it started on the earnings. And today, of course, it did, which is a great start. Again, first, I want to say full week. The market's closed on Thursday, but pretty much full week where people are back at work today and people are long NVIDIA. And I like the stock. I think it's going to continue up. I think it's going to get over that 152 and change number that it hit on the earnings, which was the previous high. And it looks like it could go to 155, 160, again, barring what the market has in store for the next few days.
What's the risk to that thesis that you see then for NVIDIA?
Well, the risk is Friday, the market has the econ out on Friday as the unemployment number. So again, if something happens Friday that creates a sell-off in the market with us being closed on Thursday, that would not be good for any stock. Remember that most stocks go on any given day with the overall market. Today, for example, is a good example. The market is up today, so most stocks are up today with the market. Some things are up on their own, which is NVIDIA, which was up quite a lot. But again, on any given day, most stocks go with the market. So if the market is down on Friday and reacts negatively to the unemployment number, then we could see a sell off. And I think the market's going to trade in a range actually between now and until the next administration takes place, January 20th. So even though we're rallying today, even though the market's up, even though the market's strong to start the year for 2025, and we were strong last year too, I think we could be caught in a very tight range for the next 2 weeks. And after that, well, we'll see. We'll see if all the momentum and all the excitement that everyone had after the election really will continue and push up the market after January 20th.
Are you worried that some of this is just momentum and not valuation when it comes to, say, NVIDIA or in general in the tech sector?
Sure, I'm not worried about it. You could be correct, but I'm not worried about it because I trade momentum. So you can't ignore the fact that the momentum's to the upside. And remember, earnings season starts in a couple of days. So Nvidia has earnings out the end of January, which is in a few weeks. Between now and then, the stock could continue rallying. After that, if the earnings show something that creates a stock falling, then I might have a different opinion. But it's not always necessarily about what the fundamentals show. If people are very bullish on this sector, which they are, if people are very bullish on the market, optimistic about 2025 and the next administration, people are going to go long, even if what you said is true.
Okay, and let me ask you about your next bullish pick. You've got Tesla in your sights on the bullish side. Now, look, you have either very strong proponents or strong critics when it comes to Tesla. And some of that also depends, it seems, on how you view the company. If you view it as more than just an EV company, as an AI company, as Elon Musk is pushing for, if you view the future of the company as more important than, say, the today, like the deliveries, what is behind your bullish view on Tesla?
Well, remember back again, even before the election, which a lot of things rallied after the election, even before that, Tesla finally had a monster lift, which it's been waiting for quite some time. So Tesla was one of those stocks that was in a downtrend for a while, even though we were in a very bullish market. And then all of a sudden it flipped. Now, what the reasons for that? We can debate, but the fact is it did flip and it had a monster move, which you cannot ignore to the upside starting in November, which carried through to the end of 2024. And in fact, I think the stock would have gone to 500 if the market had not had a sell off at the end of 2024. We got really close to that number, so close. And I think the stock is going to hit that number. Now, whether or not it hits that number before Tesla has earnings or not, I don't know. You're right that people either hate Musk or love Musk or whatever the case may be, but the stock is in an uptrend, very, very strong, has had massive momentum in just the last 2 months, has had a bigger move than the overall market. And actually, that is one of my top watches for 2025. A lot of people think it's extended. I don't think it's extended at all. In fact, I think this is a new move, a bigger move that started already for Tesla. So when I look at Tesla today, yes, it was up today, it gapped up today, and it's falling a little bit this morning, but I think that the stock is just resting today and could have a bigger move in 2025 than it had in 2024. Because remember, the move in 2024 started at the very tail end of 2024. So we've got an entire year, 12 months to go with Tesla. This stock could double in this year in 2025.
And to be fair, as to your point, some of that move happened before the election as it started to turn the corner on some of the numbers for deliveries. But to balance that out, the most recent deliveries were a disappointment. So it looks there's a little bit of chop here. We'll certainly watch this one. But let's flip to your bearish pick. You've got Boeing on your radar as a bearish pick. Now, we do have a note out today. Barclays that actually upgraded Boeing to overweight. They have a new price target that's up 210 bucks a share. That's their new price target. They think it's that they've shored up their balance sheet. They don't see it as an overhang anymore. They say the free cash flow trajectory is much more reasonable. Why are you still worried about Boeing?
Well, today's a good example. Again, I'm worried about it. Why? Again, the stock should be rallying and up more today than it is. And the other thing is, again, earnings coming up in a few weeks and Delta reports on Friday. So guess what? If Delta is down on Friday, then BA is going to continue to sell off like it's selling off today. And again, it's all going to be about the earnings. That stock has been so sluggish while the market has continued up. The last time the stock saw brand new all-time highs was years ago. And look how strong the market's been in the last several years. And Boeing is nowhere near the highs. It has had problem after problem after problem. It's going to take a while, in my opinion, for that stock to turn around. It could fall before it goes up again. And I think, again, that's one of those ones to watch for a possibility of shorting. I'm not saying you short it today. I'm saying you can watch it Friday, see how the sector does with the other stocks that are reporting before Boeing, and then, of course, watch it on the earnings and see what happens. I think it's January 29th. I want to say the earnings. I have to double check it, but that's one that's in January as well. So, I'm not saying short it today. I'm saying watch it for a possible short. It has to do a lot for me to want to go long that again. And in the backdrop of a market, like I said, where everything seems strong and everything is rallying, Boeing just isn't doing it. You got to go with the momentum when you see it, and Boeing doesn't really have it to the upside.
It has it. It is trying to punch a little bit higher right now at the moment. So it's been struggling for years now, quite honestly, if you've been watching this ever since pre-pandemic. So we'll see if you got this right to continue to be bearish on this, or if the page is turning for Boeing from the view of Barclays. But Melissa Armo, great insight. Thank you so much for your picks when it comes to the bullish side, NVIDIA and Tesla, to the bearish side, Boeing. Thank you so much, Melissa Arno.